MLS listing subscribers, welcome back to another vendor spotlight. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Dave Scalora, and we're thrilled to have Symbium CEO, Leila Banijamali. I always get that name right in practice, and then once it's live, I can never say your last name right.
I think it's the first time you said it right live, Dave. Yeah, that's
See,
great.
I hold myself to that high standard here. But no, it's great to have you back on, Leila. How are you doing?
Yeah, great. I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there. It's been fantastic. This partnership's been fantastic. Before we really get into it, I really want to say thank you to your team and yourself. You've been out on the road with us, out on the broker meetings and association tour meetings with me or Mark and sometimes our CEO and president Dave Wetzel. And the response has been fantastic, right? Everyone I think has been excited and then you guys, added on to that by making even more additions to it with you guys' 3D, mapping. And of course, we're going to talk about some permit information, which has got everybody buzzing. So it's
cool.
been great to have you out there with us.
Super excited. Yeah, no, we're super grateful for it too. I mean, this is like a first of its kind. We're not partnered with any other MLS. We launched first with MLSListings, and we couldn't be prouder of this partnership. I tell you, like when we initially launched Symbium, it was primarily still is targeted towards just the general public, homeowners or people that are buying properties. And, it turns out that real estate agents have become, and understandably so, have become a major, user base of ours. And that's primarily because they don't have an alternative singular place where they can get this kind of rich information about properties and what you can build on them. Not just the information that they can get from the MLS, which is of course necessary for their business, but otherwise they would have to go to the planning departments and, Google Maps and, different resources. Well, here with Symbium, they can just come to one place.
Yeah, it's that centralized one location. It's fantastic. I mean, from public records, everything kind of is in there. And when we're on those meetings, I'm always watching the chats usually, and it's always great when the agents are saying, "I love this tool. This is even better than before," and just I write down their names. But no, really, and I think I can see why the value is in our market today. We have such low inventory, and agents are looking for ways to differentiate themselves. And here you guys are with a product that, whether you're a buyer's agent or the listing agent, right, either one, right, tremendous value.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we're just here to supercharge the real estate agents toolkit. So I think we're really lucky to be able to do that.
Fantastic. Yeah, so I can't believe it's been, we had you on in October was the last time on. And so you guys have made, like I said, a lot of changes. So we wanted to get you back on here, give a little demo of some of the changes and the new things. So for some of those agents maybe who haven't had a chance yet to see it, we'll see it. And the new version of it. So I'll let you kind of take it away in the demo, and we'll get into some exciting news. Like I really want to talk permits with you, the permit information, because I'm getting a lot of feedback. Agents are really excited about that.
Yep, perfect. So one of the things that we've been focused on for a long time was just basically trying to incorporate some type of regulations. And initially it was the ADU regulations. So agents could come to the Symbium, or homeowners could come to Symbium and understand, can I build an ADU on my property, and actually visualize that ADU on their property, whether they draw it or they select from the designs that ADU developers have uploaded. Well, since then, we've launched a property information portal. And this was launched in winter time of 2021. And since then, we've been basically just making this announcement and, demoing it all over the place. But let me show you what it is. You basically go to Symbium.com for real estate agents, especially the MLS listings agents. You can actually just go right to your MLS dashboard and find the link there. So I'm going to enter in an address, and this is available to anyone in the public. Let's go with 2741 Emerson Street in Palo Alto. We're just going to choose a Palo Alto address here. That's within the jurisdiction of the MLS listings. So let's take a look at this. We're going to zoom in on the property right away. Here it is. You'll see the overhead view of the property. It's nice and shaded. And then on the left-hand side, we see all kinds of rich property data about the square footage, the year it was built, property ID, assessed values for the home. These are all pulled from tax records. This is government source information. So gross floor area and the number of bedrooms. If there's multiple buildings, it'll actually identify all of the square footage within each building. You just hover over this and you can see it kind of appears there. Environmental hazards, is it in a flood zone or a liquefaction zone or landslide zone? And then zoning, it's telling us it's within the R1 zone. So you can already know exactly what's possible on your property just by zoning. Building permit history, this is the cool new feature. So this actually allows us to see the permit history for this property. And here it is, folks. I can actually expand any one of these and I'll see, look, sometime in 2022, there was a demolition of the garage for an ADU conversion. And this is the name of the contractor that did it. Let's go back a little bit further in time. Let's go to 2020. There was movement of existing gas meter from one side of the garage to the other side of the primary home. So this is exactly what agents want access to right away. Has this work been done with permits? This is pulled directly from building and planning departments in local jurisdictions. Hard to get, and we've just been going out and talking to building and planning departments and pulling this information often at a high cost. And now we've made this public data actually accessible and navigable by the public. But check this out. We're going to go back to the map. So back to our property. I love that zoom. It's so smooth. And by the way, I can select any other property just by clicking on it, so you get a sense of what else is there. But I'm going to go into satellite views. One of the questions that we get from agents is, does it take into account a pagoda that I built, or a shed, or a pool? Well, this is a good way to see that. You know, see on this property, there's a lot of tree cover here. Sometimes you'll be able to see fences. You can see on this property next door, there's a structure here. And same with this property over here. So, you know, you get a sense of what's there based on the satellite imagery. But there's another cool feature too that I want to show you folks, and that is the ability to view this map in 3D mode. And so now here we are in Palo Alto, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to zoom out too, but I can see this entire area in 3D mode. And so I can see all the way over. If there's additional types of buildings, looks like these are some commercial properties. Here's some buildings that are a little higher in height, but it gives us an idea of building heights and shapes and what else is in the surrounding property. Super interesting to folks that just want to get a sense of, you know, are there other ADUs on other properties or other structures? What are the different kinds of shapes of properties in my area? Kind of gives you an idea of what's possible with your property. So that's the main new thing. I showed you build before. You can click on this button and select whether or not, you know, different ADU designs. It'll tell you what's possible on your property. And this is all, of course, pre-calculated setbacks. So as I'm hovering over it, it'll drop an ADU design right on the property. I'll move it around just to make sure it, as soon as it turns blue, it tells me that that's actually allowed in that location. And if it's not allowed, it'll tell me exactly why it's not allowed. So, you know, that's pretty much the idea there.
That's beautiful. No, I love the, you know, you mentioned the word visualize, and I think that's key because, you know, remember last time we talked, you know, a lot about comp law and computation. Now, and it's kind of like that's the lawyer side of you, and I think the broker agent side of you is coming out with this permit information and this visualization. Just I know when I look at something, I need to visualize it, right? And I think a lot of buyers and sellers need the same thing. And this is such a nice tool you can put in front of them to really let them, with that satellite view, visualize what it could be, right? And how it would work with their specific property or a different property. So I love the 3D mapping. The permit information is fantastic. I can't wait to jump in and actually, I have a neighbor. I've been wondering if they did the permit. So, but that's another story. But no, it's fantastic.
You know, it's a valid use case. I mean, there's lots of folks that just want to know, you know, hey, what's going on in my neighborhood? You know, you should be able to do that. In fact, you can do that right now. The only trouble is you have to go all the way to the planning department and pull the records and oftentimes pay a fee to do that. And so it's a bit of a hassle. But here you could just go right to Symbium.com, and just like Google Maps will give you turn-by-turn directions to a different property, Symbium will give you turn-by-turn directions as to what's possible on your property or on any property.
I know. I know. The last meeting, I know one of the agents said, I had to go pull up microfiche to get the permit. I don't know what county it was, but and obviously, like, that can be a real pain. It brought some nightmares back in my mind of old college
Yeah,
days.
I mean, there's a lot of planning departments that are still using physical map books, if you can believe it. So you have to go there in these large map books with overlays of zoning, and it's a nightmare. So this is a new way of doing things, and we're excited to be the first to do it. We have as much coverage as we can get right now based on the digital data that's available. But we're constantly adding on more data and more jurisdictions. So if you don't find what you're looking for a particular property, just keep checking back, and it's likely that we'll add it at some point.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I think the what should I say? The new portion now is also on our end, where we've gone ahead and we've added you'll see on every single listing, it's going to say Symbium ADU options, right? When you're inside Matrix, and they're seeing it, we'll put it up there now, a screenshot of it. But so it's nice. So you can go straight to Symbium, and I'd say bookmark that, right? So you have it ready to go. But if you're looking in Matrix now, you can get that specific property by just clicking on that link on any one, right? And takes you right into that specific property information. That's going to be nice. So everybody will make sure you check that out. That's live right now. So we thanks to your team of Jeet, I know, working with Joffrey and Tom Lorenzo and everybody getting this done in a timely manner. So really excited about having
all
that.
you guys. Yeah,
and
appreciate it.
And I should point out in that, on those inside Matrix, we have each of those, but that doesn't mean that you've got every property in the state in here, right? So it doesn't have to be in our system Matrix for you to go look at a property. You'll just have to go through Symbium.com to go if it's not on the market, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be exactly. So if it's not, if it's a property that you're looking at, it's either you're not looking at it from your property view in Matrix. In other words, you're not opening a singular property and looking at it on your screen. Another way to access it is there's other places in MLS listings that will house that link to Symbium, or you can go to Symbium.com and perform a different kind of search. There's also ways to perform structured searches, just in case, you may not know the address of what you're looking for, but you want to go to Symbium and, say, hey, show me all of the properties in Los Angeles that fit this criteria. And boom, it'll just show you on the map, and you can zoom in and select any one of them. So right. It's an important tool to have, especially if you're working with investor clients who are looking for a particular characteristic or characteristics of properties, and you want to be able to show them those and to be able to talk about it in an intelligent manner. You have to be informed, and Symbium has the data to give you that leg up.
It's fantastic. Leila, it's awesome stuff. Our agents are loving it. And I'm sure we're going to see you out on the road more and more as we get the call. It's less about me and Mark anymore. They usually call us and say, can you bring Leila, Pete, or Linda? And Dave, you can show if you want, but which we're fine with.
We consider you an integral part of the team now, Dave. So,
awesome.
We're lucky to have you guys on board, and we're lucky to be partnered with MLS Listings. And like I said, it's the first of its type. If you've been a member of MLS Listings, you know what I'm talking about. Our company came out of Stanford, and the first inclination we had was to find a local MLS listing to partner with, and here we are. And so this is an exclusive partnership. We'll continue to provide exclusive content for MLS Listing subscribers that no one will be able to find anywhere else. So we're super excited about this.
Great. Now, you guys have definitely kept up your end of the bargain. Let me know when you guys keep adding stuff. It seems like every time I go into Symbium, there's always something new added, or so the future is bright for all our agents out there. Take a look out on those listings, see that link, check it out, right? Don't miss out on these opportunities, and go into Symbium.com, play around. I think the more you use it, the interface is very simple to use, and I think you kind of get used to it real quick. And it really just kind of lets you really visualize, can you get that ADU and get all that information. The permit information is going to be a big thing for our agents, especially, like I said, in this market. Just one centralized place to get all this data is unbelievable. So, Leila, I want to thank you again for coming on, and I know we're going to have you back on soon enough. But until then, I'll see you at these meetings out on the virtual road. And I just
Thanks.
want to thank you
Yeah,
guys so much.
our next meeting, we're going to have next time we do this, we're going to have a big announcement. So, I encourage everyone to tune in then.
Fantastic. Leila, take care. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
Make sure to check out our pro support page for additional videos on a full range of topics. And don't forget to click that subscribe button on our MLS Listings YouTube page.